In August, 120 football teams in Ohio had a dream, and that was to play for a state championship. In early December, 118 of those teams have disappeared, and then there were 2. Hello again, everybody. I'm George Kellis. This is Paul Brown Stadium in Massillon. This is Ty Fleming, and this is the state championship in Division II in Ohio. All I can say is this is a great thrill for me. I can imagine what those kids must be thinking there in the locker room.
Oh, yeah, definitely, George. Yeah, this is something that they'll remember all their lives. I really don't think it's going to hit these young men what they've accomplished until they're 25, 26 years old. They're going to sit back and just say, wow, it's unbelievable. But they got a job on their hands tonight, and that is take care of the Chardon Ball Club. Chardon Fields, they won the state championship last week and beaten Walsh Jesuit. So the Buckeye Panthers got to go out again tonight and show that they're a class team in the state of Ohio.
And the reality of this whole thing is we have no way of realistically gauging how these two teams are going to match up against each other because they have nothing in common, and there's just no way to know until they get out there and start cracking each other.
Definitely. And you can look at all the film you want to look. You're going to pick up what their tendencies are, but you have no caliber of the competition, what they're going up against. So, you know, really it's a blind game you're going in. The kids just got to go out and execute and hope everything comes out on the good side for the Panthers tonight.
And one thing we did talk about on our way up here was that the team that Chardon beat last week, Walsh Jesuit, was formerly Division I and gave the likes of St. Ignatius a hard time last year. So we know they're a quality team. We'll just have to see how they match up against Buckeye Local. Back with the opening kickoff right after these messages.
This week we salute Elizabeth Leposka, National Honor Society and Merit Scholar, Chet Poblish, Merit Scholar in Varsity Football, Jessica Vinci, Varsity Basketball and National Honor Society, David Cornish, Varsity Football and Fellowship of Christian Athletes, Mason Boyce, Varsity Football and Senior Class President. WTOV and Fox Run Hospital salute all the students at Buckeye Local High School.
Stadium, for whom this building is named, made history back in the 40s here, setting a national record for consecutive victories at Massillon Washington High School, home of the Tigers. And as the Buckeye Panthers looking for Ohio Valley history tonight, trying to be the first team ever to go 14-0. They will receive the kick. The kick comes to one of the up backs, and Buckeye will have good field position out to the 38-yard line. Kevin Spong on the return. 1st and 10 Panthers.
Nice short kick coming to the 30-yard line there, and Kevin didn't fool around. Spong took the ball and right up the football field, giving the Panthers good position, George. Very important first drive against this defense. They believe that they can shut the Panther offense down. Talking to the coaches in pregame. Here's the offense. Go ahead, George.
Rosenfeld, Roush, Poblish, McCain, Cornish, and Robson. Those two will alternate. Here is Buckeye Local on 1st down, and Poblish fell, got back up, and is strung out for a loss of about 2 or 3 yards on 1st down. The play never developed. And you're seeing right there a strategy. Buckeye believed coming into this game that they might be able to run wide against this team. That remains to be seen. If we can look at the defensive line, Rick Warner, and you see the foursome right there as Buckeye quickly back up to the line of scrimmage. And on 2nd down, Poblish has an opening and gets across the original line of scrimmage. Could have had a substantial gain right there, but was tripped up. He got about 6 or 7, so it'll be a 3rd down, and we'll call it 6.
Yes, nice isolation play right there, and Chet was just ready to make his break to the sideline, George, and he did get tripped up there by one ankle. He had the sideline made. Big 3rd down call now coming up.
Honigman, Ash Vaughn, and Kevin Ash, brothers. They're not going to get the 1st down here.
Yeah, we had a fumbled exchange there, and Rosenfeld luckily held on to the ball right there. Elliott just saw the ball pop up through the air there and grabbed it and just fell forward, keeping possession, giving Buckeye now 4th down and 4 from their own 45-yard line.
So an ugly opening series for the Buckeye Panthers as they now will attempt to kick the ball. Initially, the ball marked at the 45 of Buckeye Local, but this mark-off is going to be against the Panthers.
Yes, we got the jitters right now, George. We just got to get ourselves calmed down and act like this is the 1st ball game of the season or the 5th ball game of the season. You cannot play this game any differently than you play a regular season game. If you do, you're going to run into trouble. And right now, the nerves and the butterflies are still in our stomach.
Rick Matthews back at his own 25-yard line to kick. Remember, it is an artificial surface. First time that Buckeye Local has ever played a game on artificial turf. And the kick coming downfield lands at the 35-yard line, takes a nice bounce, still rolling inside the 15, and is down at the 12.
That's the nice thing about the artificial turf. The defensive backs and the return man must field the ball. That ball is going to take off and roll on this field. We were on the field, George, before the game walking, and you know yourself, they got a nice spongy field down there.
Here is the Chardon offense. Scott Neal, Eric Ash, Joe Krebs, Tim Michael, Rick Conroy, and John Toady. Up front, they have Rice, Walsh, Warner, Conroy, and Hardesty. And we'll be talking about their offensive people as they get set to go. The ball at the 14-yard line. 1st and 10 Chardon. They'll run out of the wing T offense. And you can see the wing back to the near side and the handoff inside. No, it's the quarterback on a keeper. And that's the kind of deception that they'll throw at you with their quarterback, Scott Neal, who has run for 700 yards and 15 touchdowns this year. Tyron Poglish told me that one of the big problems defending this team is that their quarterback runs better than anybody they've faced from the quarterback position.
Yes, he does, and he fakes extremely well, too, out of that wing T right there. And you saw one of their favorite plays, and that is they love to get the quarterback coming out that way, plus they'll take him out the backside on the boot. Good play there by Dave Cornish to bring him down. 2nd down, a long 7 as they put a man in motion. The inside handoff. They got a guy loose through the secondary. A 1st down out over the 30, 35. 1st down, the Chardon Hilltoppers. Their head coach is Bob Doyle, and they come in with identical 13-0 records, matching the record of the Buckeye Panthers. And you can see the inside give and a nice opening right here. Yeah, nice trap there by their tackle. They had a tackle trap call right there, and their halfback coming up through the middle there. Number 22, Joe Krebs, found the opening and got into the secondary, bringing it out to their own 41.
They set up in a straight T full house backfield right here. The fake. No, the give, but they won't get anything on this play. And I'll tell you, that quarterback is deceptive. It was similar to what they ran on their first play from scrimmage, only this time the give inside and good defense. No gain on the play. That was stacked up in the middle by the Panther front 4. Mike Wilt, Jim Runovich, Clint Hepburn, and Mike Roush. And the defensive backs are Cornish, Poglish, and Bailey. And we'll get back the linebackers, Treckle, McCain, Kaminsky, and Ray Tye. What a group that is. The quarterback on an option, has a man open far side, overthrows it, and it is incomplete. Scott Frank, the intended receiver on the play, he is the primary target from the wideout position, and it's going to be 3rd down and 10.
Yes, that was that option pass that we saw earlier there, George, and doing some Buckeye games. Some teams ran out against them out there. They bring that wingback back in motion around there, and they have the quarterback has the option there. That man made a nice inside-out move, and the quarterback felt he was open, so he threw the ball to him. If he feels he's covered, he's going to pull it down and run the option against the Panthers.
They have a man split to the near side. Little misdirection inside. It's going to be stopped. He got away and then stopped.
Yes, Danny McCain had a hand on him there in the backfield and slowed him up. Looked like big number 62, Jim Renovich, came in and helped finish him up in there. We'll take a look at here. We'll see number 44. Excuse me.
That's Kaminsky got a hand on him there.
Kaminsky, McCain both. And right there, finish him off low is number 62.
Nice job there by Jim Runovich. So it's punt formation for the Chardon Hilltoppers. Marcus Smith is their punter back at his own 20-yard line. He gets it away cleanly. It's coming down at the 35, where it's taken by Cornish out of the 40. And I look from here like maybe somebody grabbed a piece of his face mask, Ty Fleming.
Yes, I'm sorry. I just got that bad habit still of yelling out at the officials.
Well, you know, the one problem you and I do have is that we are higher than we have ever legally been. That's what somebody else said up here.
We are on top of the stadium, folks, but looking down in a beautiful view. What a place to watch a game from.
Well, I'll tell you how high up we are, though. The Goodyear blimp is flying about, and it flew under us here a few minutes. I'm not lying. The Goodyear blimp is here. We'll try try to get a picture of it. Here is Buckeye out of the I formation from its own 42.5-yard line to give to Publish. He slips and falls, and a loss on the play of 1 yard.
Yes, the footing out here is something you got to get used to. It looks like Chet got AstroTurf shoes on out there. And George, I coached here several years ago in an all-star game, and we practiced on this field for 2 weeks, and the kids all started off with AstroTurf shoes, and by game night, everybody had their tennis shoes on out of the dorm room. So it's something.
Some say tennis shoes work better than anything else.
And the Panthers have a shoe bank over there, so we may see some change of the footwear here.
The inside handoff, not much room, and on a second down 11, Roush gets back to the original line of scrimmage, and that's about it.
Yes, the Panthers going to have to open up a little bit here and try to get a little bit of diversity going here in their offense. Pounding away at that middle looks like it's going to be awful tough in there. Their nose guard in there is extremely well and extremely, there we are, great athlete.
We're up there. Here's the pitch back. And Publish tries to get to the outside, and he won't do it. One thing that we've seen here quickly in this ball game is that this is a very quick, aggressive defensive unit for Chardon. This is the quickest defense I have seen against Buckeye Local in the postseason. One of the key people up front, you want to keep an eye on him, is Don Vaughn. He was District Player of the Year at middle guard, only 180 pounds, but they say he is absolutely quicksilver. Here is the punt short, landing at the 35-yard line, and takes a good Chardon bounce back in the direction from which it came, and Chardon will get its first view of the field from excellent position in this football game. 1st and 10 at its own 40.
Well, that's a bad time to shank one off the side of your foot, but that, that's just what the breaks of the game are. And right now, the Panther defense cannot let Chardon get any type of drive going like they did before. They drove that ball out from the 15-yard line out to the 45-yard line. They get a drive going like that, they're down in the red zone, George.
Well, Chardon thinks they have an excellent matchup, their offense, against the 4-4 defense of Buckeye Local. They don't think Buckeye can stop what they do. But the Panthers trying to prove otherwise as they shut down the ball carrier on 1st and 10. And good defensive work on the front line again for Buckeye Local as we wind down to the 5-minute mark, and no score as yet here in the first quarter of this state championship game. You can see the ball carrier right there, Eric Ash, who was a good one.
Yes, they are. They're really going to be, they're setting up their option here, George. Don't be surprised to see that quarterback pull that ball out with that wing back in motion as a pitch man.
2nd down and 8. The give inside. And to the 44, and that's all, is the ball carrier right here.
Yes, he was met real quick by Mike Rouse up high. Mike took him up high, and it's coming off the bottom of the pile again is number 62, Jim Runovich. Bringing up 3rd and 7. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
We are on the far side of the field from the Buckeye Local fans. So if you Buckeye fans are wondering why we are not getting a lot of cutaways of the kids and the coaches on the sideline, that is because the way they have the TV crews set up over here, we are way away from you as we view this. The quarterback keeps this time, runs, he is short of a 1st down, still in Chardon territory at the 49-yard line, and good pursuit that time. You let this guy get running into your secondary, and he will cause major, major problems. We'll see what they do. They got a 4th, about 1.5 yards to go. If they kick it, then we are playing a little chess game at field position.
Yes, this I believe their coach feels that he can control the ball with field position. Right there, we saw the option come up a yard short there that we discussed earlier. We're going to come out running, and right now he's just playing a chess game. He's going to put the ball down the field and make Buckeye try to do something and make a mistake.
Smith does indeed kick the football. It's coming down to Cornish. Cornish at the 20, weaves ahead to the 25, and it'll be gang tackled. 1st and 10, Buckeye Local at its own 25.
We'll take that field position, George.
There's no score with 3:24 to go in the first period, and we'll be right back. This Chardon team is in the state championship game. You don't run into any stiffs when you get to this level. This is the best team Buckeye Local has faced. At least it sure looks that way to me right now. Here's Publish trying to get to the outside, inside a block, gets a yard, maybe 2, and this is the problem here in the first half, that they just can't get anything humming on 1st down.
Yeah, we're coming up with 2nd and long every darn time. time. And the thing that I think the Panther coaches now are going to start seeing here in this first quarter, like I say, it's tough to see things off film, as we said at the beginning in the pregame. But this is a very, very quick defensive ball club out there. You're going to have to run more stuff straight at him in there. The misdirection's not going to work too well.
Out of the I formation, 2nd down and 8. Here's Chet with an opening out over the 40, the 45. Is it Danny McCain? You betcha. 3 All-Staters on this Buckeye Panther ball club. Mason Boyce up front along with Povlish. And that man right there, Danny McCain, I absolutely love this guy. He has shown such tremendous leadership on this football team all year and through the postseason. And a brilliant job right there to get the big first down out to the 45. Hosenfeld throwing near side. Ball caught. And it's a first down. Brian Robson.
Nice ball. He got right behind the corner coverage here. The corner tried to bump him, then released him for the deep man. And Elliott threw it right in the seam. Take a look at this, folks.
Hosenfeld throwing a nice ball, and this is an equally brilliant reception on the fingertips right there by Robson, who went up, timed it beautifully, made the catch. First down, Buckeye local at the Chardon 30-yard line. Second man through is hit hard after a short gain.
Povlish got faking to Rouse up the middle. And on that long run of Danny McCain, want to give credit there to Mr. Rouse, because I tell you what, he led the way up through there. Mike laid out their linebacker, and Danny came right off his tail perfectly for that long gainer to put us down in this position. Looking now at 2nd down and 8, George, from the 28-yard line.
You betcha. There's Ronnie Povlish, who signed on the far side. And Hosenfeld on a 2nd and 8. Gives it again. This time McCain at the tailback. Ball's out down to the 25. Don't tell me that's a fumble. It sure is. And it's recovered by the Chardon Hilltoppers.
Christian Walsh, their defensive end there, come up with a loose ball. Maybe we can see it here on the replay. When the ball comes out, see Rouse leading up through there on the ISO, and Danny cuts back in. Looked like number 50 got his paw back in there and pulled the ball loose. Their defensive tackle, Rick Warner.
Yep.
So it's going to be Chardon's ball on the 29, up to the Panther defense now, George, to maintain this field position.
A crowd of 9,000 and then some here at Paul Brown Stadium in Massillon. Quarterback throwing incomplete. Scott Neal throwing to the outside, and the intended receiver was Krebs.
Good coverage out there by the Panther defense out there. They try to do a little crossing pattern, and Neal, threw the ball to the inside man making the break out there, and Chet Povlish hopped all over his back, and the ball was overthrown. So if that's their passing attack, George, we're going to be in good shape. We're going to have to cut down this running game, and we'll be all right tonight. 2nd and 10.
Every mistake so critical. The Panthers, with a scoring opportunity right there, turned it over. And this is the option. The quarterback with a big hole, and he's out across the 40 to the 44-yard line, and a first down for Chardon.
Great blocking at the point of attack by the Chardon offensive line as Scott Neal come down that line there, and he didn't make 2 steps down the line, George, and he had an opening. He cut up inside the offensive tackle there in that seam to pick up first down out to the 44-yard line.
A minute 15, and the clock is running in what has been a fast-paced first quarter of play. Still no score. George Kellis and Ty Fleming from the Division II state championship at Paul Brown Stadium in Massillon. They give it off this time, and it is Eric Ash. Ash, who has run for 915 yards coming into this game. They have a balanced attack. The quarterback and their halfback, Krebs, have combined for about 1,500 between them, and you add Ash with a little bit short of 1,000. They've put up about 3,000 yards in a well-balanced attack involving 3 or 4 runners.
Yes, they have.
So it's not a big load being carried by one guy. They have a lot of people that do a good job. And here is their quarterback again, Neal, a first down. He's in Buckeye local territory to the 42-yard line.
The option, George, I tell you, he runs that option extremely well. He comes down that line of scrimmage and makes that read right now. And you can see, as Coach Pope told us before the game out there, and Coach McCain, is that he'd rather turn the ball up and go with it himself than pitch the thing out there. And that's what we're seeing out of him so far tonight.
And Cornish missed a tackle right there. And what you're seeing is excellent blocking in and around Neal at the point of attack. No question about that. First and 10. Clock runs out. They will not get another playoff as the first quarter comes to a close. You see the near sideline, which is well packed with Chardon fans. Their team is on the move at the end of the first quarter. Buckeye nothing, Chardon nothing. Back with the second period right after these. Ty Fleming pointing out to me that some of those people you saw sitting in the Tiger stands on the near side there, reserve seats for coaches from around the state high.
You get each school, the head coach and the AD gets applications early in the season for the state playoff tickets. So anybody that buys tickets for the state playoff games, all 6 of them, this is where their seats are over in this area underneath here.
You won't get a better night in December for a state championship game unless you go to Florida. Second quarter about to start. Chardon will have a first down at the Buckeye local 42.
And right now, the Panther defense have got to shut him down. We're going to have to get a better job there where assignment's not option. The man assigned to that quarterback, they're blocking him at the point of attack really well. He's got to get off that block and attack that quarterback for the pitch.
Here, inside handoff, and across the 40 to the 39-yard line. Eric Ash, the ball carrier, and he gets about 3 or 4 on first down. So the one thing that Chardon has been able to do is at least get some daylight on their first down plays. You're better off being 2nd and 6 if at all possible. The Panthers, when they have had possession of the football, have actually been in some 2nd and 11, 2nd and 13 type things. Again, a man in motion.
There's that seam.
Oh, wow. This is the quarterback on the move big time. Inside the 25 to the 20-yard line. Well, the previous play, they gave it off inside, and then they come back on the very next play, and he does it so niftily. This little fake right here, sticks it right in the belly, pulls it out, and look at the blocking in the hole there.
The blocking at the point of attack is just tremendous right there. And number 41 in the secondary, Ben Bailey, helps bring him down along with Chet Poblish down on the Panther 21-yard line.
Opening moments, second quarter, still no score. Chardon on the move. Their deepest penetration here in the first half. They bring a man this way.
Fullback.
Fullback gets the call and good yardage on first down. He cracks to about the 16. And Kaminsky makes the tackle. Eric Ash, the ball carrier.
Yes, right now the Chardon Hilltoppers, George, should not change anything they're doing. Just keep giving the 1-2 punch. They're going to get that ball to fullback and pull it around the option until the Panther defense shows they can stop it.
A strong 5-yard gain on first down. 2nd down and 5. And it's time to strap it up on defense here, gang.
Here comes the option. Here you got the containment broke.
Late pitch. Get him. He gets away and finally brought down at the 11-yard line.
What they're doing, George, they got a split man out here out that back, so they're giving us a single look right there with 2 wings and a split man, and that split man is cracking back in. It's at the bottom of the screen. We're not going to be able to see it, I don't believe.
This time the quarterback pitched back. Yes, Cornish read the play very nicely, but overran the ball carrier.
Yes, we got a couple missed tackles right there, and luckily the pursuit has kept coming at him and brought him down there on the 12-yard line, looking at 3rd and 1 now for the Hilltoppers.
Got to keep this outfit out of the end zone. The Panthers have fallen behind in some games thus far in the postseason and bounced back, but this is a first down and more. Driving hard to the 5-yard line is Eric Ash. It'll be 1st and goal. The Hilltoppers of Chardon. And I'm really impressed with this football team here in the first half. They do a lot of things well. They're very quick. Their backs run hard. They're a lot like Buckeye local in the toughness aspect of the game.
What they have done, though, so far tonight is that they have kept Buckeye back on the heel, so the Buckeyes will do their opponents in the playoffs. Right now, the Buckeye defense is guessing. They don't know where the ball's going.
Well, here we go. 1st and goal. The handoff. That's too easy. That's just too easy right there for Eric Ash as he blasted through a big hole, and it's a touchdown, Chardon.
defensive staff of Buckeye is going to have to make adjustments out there and take away this dive option of theirs. That's all they're running out there, Georgia, is diving that fullback up in there. And what's giving Buckeye so much trouble out there is their blocking assignment on the option and the dive are exactly the same. They're pulling their guard out there even when they're giving that ball to the fullback up the middle. Got number 15 on for
Marty Macker. The extra point is good. And Chardon, with 9:19 to go in the second quarter, draws first blood.
Might be a good sign, George.
Well, that's true. Throughout the playoffs, Buckeye Local has been coming from behind, and they will be challenged right here by what looks like a very aggressive Chardon defense. Chardon 7, Buckeye Local nothing. We'll be right back. Club. We've seen that on a couple of occasions, coming from 7-6 deficits in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs to take control against Uniontown Lake and also Columbus Waterson.
Yes, one thing I was noticing in some of the articles I've read this week, George, is the points in the third quarter. That is really an indication of a good football club
and a well-conditioned team.
Yes, and the Buckeye Local Panthers have really outscored their opponents. It was something like 138 to 31 in the third quarter. And the reason that's so important is that's when you go in and make those adjustments at halftime against that team. In the third quarter, 9 out of 10 ball games decides the outcome of the game.
And although Chardon has a great defensive reputation, they have given up 10 touchdowns in the last 5 games, whereas the Panthers coming in had given up only 5 touchdowns in the last 6 games. So it's not as though you're running up against a juggernaut that cannot be dealt with. Still moving is the ball carrier right here out to the 40-yard line, Kevin Spong. They've been kicking the ball in his direction.
They don't want to kick that ball deep. They're kicking that ball down there shallow around the 30-yard line. That time Kevin backed up to about the 26 and took at it and just weaved his way up nicely to the 40-yard line, giving the Panthers good position here.
Well, I'll tell you, I think that the Panthers will take the ball at their own 40 anytime.
Yes, with 9 minutes to go before half, the Panthers have got to move.
Up to that offensive line to get it humming. Here's Poblish looking for his blockers. That's a good job out across the 45 to the 46 on first down. This team has gotten here by blocking people straight ahead, running the football consistently and crisply through the postseason. They will go only as far as their offensive line takes them.
Now take a look at the replay right here. We'll see Chet get out there. Looks like he's going to... Yes, that's number 53 pulling out there in front of him. Jason Stustick, the offensive tackle.
Pobe again gets right behind him. Sweep, first down across midfield to the 48 of Chardon.
Excuse me, Jason, I called you a tackle. You're the offensive left guard out there. In the same play again, he's just getting right up on Jason's hind end. Take a look at it here, folks. Watch him get right on number 53.
Jason Sustick leads the way.
And just follow his tail.
Good job.
You always tell your backs to follow the lineman's hind end.
That's a good way to put it.
Well, we always had a little different slang for that, but that's good enough.
Plenty of time left in the first half. This is an inside handoff. Good job. And I think it's Roush carrying tacklers. You got to show that kind of heart and determination to win championships. Chardon did on their last possession. Now here come the Panthers.
Well, I hope this is not an indication of some of the things we may see. Let's take a good look at this in here. And what I'm talking about is the spot, George.
Where'd they spot this ball?
See? Nah, that's not bad.
Okay. Ball at the 37.5-yard line. Buckeye Local with a first down.
This is what we need. This is what we did last time, George. We shot ourselves in the foot with that fumble. We need to hold on to the ball now, guys.
To give inside again, and it's a good 4- or 5-yard gain there by Roush. And this is what you have to have right here. You've got to come up to the line of scrimmage and tee off on these guys and let them know that you're here to mean business.
Yes, sir. We're playing valley football now, George. We're going to line up and play a little smash match out to these people and see how tough the Geauga County people are.
Second down. They only gave him 3 yards on the play, so it's second down and 7.
Inside again to Mike Roush. Number 77 come across and got a hand on him, tripped him up there for the Hilltoppers. That's their defensive end, Christian Walsh again.
I get the impression, Ty, that this Chardon team pursues so quickly in attacking the football that some quick developing stuff inside might work against them, and I think that the Panther coaching staff is certainly going to try that and keep after it as long as it works. Third down, a short 3. Ball at the 31-yard line. Power I right formation.
Danny
McCain, whirling in traffic, is very close to the first down. He needs to get to the 32-yard line, and we'll see where they mark him.
By the spot of the side official here, George, we're going to be slightly short. We got to be closer to the 32. It looks like he's putting that ball off closer to the 33-yard line. So I imagine we're going to be about a half a yard short, bringing up fourth down for the Panthers on the 28-yard line.
Well, I'm going to tell you exactly what Ron Poblish is going to do here, and I'm going to agree with him. He's going to tell his people, you line up, you steamroll anything you see in front of you with a dark jersey, and we got to get a yard here. This is a state championship game. We're not here to take runner-up trophies home. Short of the first down, as anticipated, by less than a yard. And the Panther fans on the far side hooping it up, trying to get their team back in here as we have the first real gut check for the Panther offense.
And I think we see our refrigerator play coming in, George. Chet Poblish going out of the ball game, and coming in the ball game was another offensive lineman. I believe Carl Baronick came in there as an offensive lineman, and we're going to see a new back in there now for the Panther.
Don't tell me they're going to give it to Bobby Ogden.
I don't believe Bobby's going to carry the football, but we're going to see the mini fridge there in the backfield, number 64, 6'2", 275, which may be a lead blocker.
So Carl Baronick and Barry Roski, which have done such a brilliant job spelling.
Take a look, there he is, 64,
and
left
there
half.
You see it, left halfback, 275-pound. First down, I don't care. That's going to work for good yardage down to about the 20-yard line. And they did not run in the direction of Ogden. They gave the ball to McCain, and he ran through the middle.
Yes,
and
he did.
This is big because one of the key matchups in this game, I mentioned that their middle guard, Vaughn, you see him working there against Mason Boyce. And one of the key matchups is All-Stater Mason Boyce, the center of Buckeye, going against Vaughn. First down, not much running room. Maybe a couple, maybe to the 20.
But on that play, George, you're giving Mason Boyce credit. He did a very good job, but the key block again was by Mike Rouse. Mike is the one that took number 54 and turned him aside there as Danny McCain made that move in the middle. Danny had real good eyes there. The point of attack was over the power left tackle. He ran that ball straight up the zero hole.
Second down and 8 from the 20-yard line. Buckeye working from the familiar I formation. Hosenfeld, you got room.
Get open, receivers.
Hosenfeld is tackled for a loss.
We had our receivers, George. They kept running deep in the routes out there as Elliott make the containment outside break here. He had room out here, but the receivers did not come back to the football. They kept running deep toward the end zone, and the DB stayed with them. They need to come back and help Elliott in that situation and give them a target to throw to.
If he had committed to the run instantly, he had a big daylight out in front, as you can see. But once he hesitated, and I'm not saying that was his fault for any reason, the defenders recovered nicely.
And that was their big defensive end there, running him down.
Third down and 10, single setback, and they bring Poblish in motion. Penalty coming here as there was movement along the left side of the Buckeye Panther offensive line.
Going to back us up 5 and now give us 3rd and 15 from the 27-yard line. Should not make much of a difference in the play call. Coach Poblish is sending a different play in. Robinson coming out, and looks like Cornish is coming back in the ball game.
Well, mistakes have hurt here in the first half. A shank punt. Then the Panthers on a drive down to the 20-yard line in the first quarter, fumbling the football away. Now they are looking at 3rd down and 15 at the Chardon 27. Hosenfeld is sacked.
And the linebacker came untouched in there for Chardon. That's number 51.
Andy Honigman, number 51. And he was not blocked. Well, what looked like a very promising situation has turned ugly on the Panthers. And Hosenfeld, good peripheral vision, or he may have had that jarred loose right there.
Yes, he did. We're bringing up 4th down now from the 33-yard line, and we're going for it. There is our first sack from the Kroger Food and Drug Company for the Salvation Army.
We don't want to see Chardon recording
screen.
any of those. There's a little screen pass.
He got it.
Has room if he runs the right way. He cuts back. Score!
No flags. We're in. 7-6, folks, with 3:49 to go in the half. The Panthers score on a screen to the right side to Chet Publish. The Panthers, I believe, are going to be calling timeout. Now the decision for Coach Publish. I believe we may see him going for 2. He has a habit of doing this.
4th and 21. He's at the 45 when he releases the football and fading away. All alone is Publish. And the big block right there to the outside. And here is Chet with a nice cutback. Corey Benton through the big block. And it's a Panther touchdown. Whew.
That's what we needed right there, buddy, before this halftime. We didn't want to go in that halftime without scoring against this Chardon defense and giving them any type of confidence. And we'll take a break as Coach Publish talks it over in the huddle. It's our Buckeye Local Panthers 6, the Chardon Hilltoppers 7. We'll be right back.
The Division II State Championship on WTOV 9 Sports. Chardon with a 7-6 lead, hopefully a very temporary one, with 3:49 to go here. And that was a rather time-consuming drive by the Buckeye Panthers right there as they went some 61 yards for the score. And Ty, you have got to keep Chardon's offense sidelined if you want to win this football game. The best way to do it is to put points on the board in the process. Here is Buckeye Local going for the 2-point conversion. Hosenfeld gives it to Danny McCain, and he is short.
We Coach tried to spread him out there. He found in a high pro left and tried to run an isolation up the left-hand side there, and it failed. So, George, I tell you what, I know we're behind, but I love this score. 7-6. We went halftime down 7-6. I'll be smiling.
Well, that type of play worked last week against Piqua as the Panthers went for it on a 4th down and goal at the 3-yard line. Nothing fancy about it. You just tell the left side of your offensive line to keep shoving, and Danny McCain made the 2-point conversion, or actually the touchdown last week, and is stopped just short on the 2-point effort right here.
But that was out of a different formation, George. Out last week there was in a power formation. This time we try to come out there in a throwing formation, try to spread their defense out. They put twin coverages on both of our wideouts out there, but they still kept the middle people in there, and they stopped us short there on the extra point try. But, you know, a 7-6 deficit is something that we become accustomed to for the Panthers being at halftime.
It's amazing, actually, because they were down 7-6 against Lake, down 7-6 against Columbus Watterson, and they were down 7-6 before converting last week. So they have been down 7-6 in all 4 playoff games at one time or another. Ball kicked to the far side, taken by the deep man at the 10, the 20, the 25, and driven out of bounds at the 28-yard line. Joe Krebs on the carry. And Chardon will have 3 minutes and 44 seconds with which to operate in this first half.
And right now, the Panthers must shut down this option game of the Hilltoppers. You know, it's just something that that is a must. It must be done. We can't allow them to go down the field and get in the end zone before we go in the locker room at halftime and make some defensive adjustments in there with the whole team and the defensive staff. It has to be done right now on the field.
They bring the man in motion. Counter. Good defense here. Joe Krebs, the ball carrier.
Look like number 34 in there. Scott Treckle making the initial hit for the Panthers, bringing him down there for a short gain. Call it 1, George. Looking at 2nd 9 now from the 30 with 3:20 to go before half.
One trend that we have seen, Ty, in the postseason, and I hope it continues, is that the Buckeye defense has adapted to every opponent and has gotten tougher and tougher as the game has gone on. Hopefully, that's going to be the case here this evening. 2nd down and 9. Here is the quarterback with a man open, and it's picked off near side by Cornish. He pulled it down with one hand. He's to the 30-yard line of the Chardon Hilltoppers.
Great hand by Dave Cornish again, 5'9", 140 junior. He just went up with that left palm, pulled it down like Lou Alcindor bringing down a rebound.
Wow, and the man was open about 2 or 3 yards behind him, but Cornish, you just can't make a better play than that one right there.
That's why he leads the team in interceptions, George. That's probably about 10 or 11 on the season for that young man. Great field position.
2:50 to go. Ball at the 30-yard line of Chardon. Panthers trying to take the lead now. And to give to Poblish. Poblish cuts it to about the 27-yard line, a gain of 3.
Right now we're down in this red zone, George, and all we need to do is just keep pounding this ball right at this Chardon defense and get another first down here. We got plenty of time on the clock with 2:20 to go, and I believe we got 2 timeouts left.
You are correct, sir. 2 timeouts. George Kellis and Ty Fleming. Paul Brown Tiger Stadium in Massillon, Ohio. There is nowhere else to go. This is the championship. He got it. Room on the left side. Good open field tackle. Poblish had 1 man to beat where he would have had a huge gainer. Scott Frank upended Poblish at the 25. It'll be 3rd down and a short.
Take a look how you'll see both guards coming out there, and Chet right now wants to stay up here on their tail. He tried to bounce it outside too quick. Our first guard has got to look to the outside and let the second guard cut up through the field there so he can follow him up. Halfback pass.
Poblish falls down, and something tricky was going to happen there. It was going to be a halfback pass, and I think that they might have had somebody open. In Hosenfeld?
Yes, that was Elliott. That was going to be a halfback throwback. Chet was coming on a roll action to the left-hand side here. You'll see Elliott disappear out of the ball on the screen right there as Chet trips himself up there on the AstroTurf carpet. There are some seams out there, George, and that's very easy to do. But as Elliott handed that ball off there, he took off out of the right flat area and was going down the right sideline wide open.
So it's 4th and 13, ball back out to the 34-yard line. And the thing that you're looking at here, with 1:10 to go in the first half, the Panthers on their last possession converted a 4th and a mile for a touchdown. And on the Ohio Valley Hospital scoreboard, it's Chardon 7, Buckeye Local 6. We'll see what the Panthers do on 4th down when we return. And Ty Fleming. On the Ohio Valley Hospital scoreboard, it reads Chardon 7, Buckeye Local 6. 1:10 to go in what has been an exciting first half. And these two teams are going to claw at each other, I think, all the way.
Let's see if we can back up. We're looking at a field goal. From 41, this is 51 yards.
Come on, fellas.
John Seuss attempting a 51-yard field goal is down, and, well, hits the goal line.
That's a nice idea, but I don't believe I've seen too many 51-yard field goals at this level. And some interesting...
Wait a minute, so many? How many have you seen?
I don't... 0.
All right, say it. You haven't seen any? No. I haven't seen any. But evidently their coach felt that, you know, he used his trick play earlier there on the screen pass. He didn't feel right there talking with the offensive coach on the sideline, Coach Pest, and the coaches up in the box, that right there they had a play that they were going to use on that 3rd down right there. Kick the ball down there just good as a punt, get the ball on the 20-yard line and play defense and get out of here.
7-6, Chardon with the ball and a 1-point lead. We'll see if they try anything tricky or whether or not they're content to take a lead in at halftime. Short gain on 1st down, and it looks like the Chardon Hilltoppers will let it run down.
Yes, I don't think we're going to see anything too fancy out of this ball club with under 50 seconds to go in the half.
And Chardon will have the ball to start the second half.
Yes, they won the coin flip at the beginning of the ball game and deferred to kick off. And now they have their choice of second half, which I'm sure they will elect to take the football. But here's that double wing, George. They've run the option now this all night. No,
here comes a man with running room. And this is Eric Ash. Ash is taken out of bounds into his own sideline area at the 32-yard line with 25 seconds to go. Poblish chased him out.
Take a look at it here. A little different action. We've seen that's the double guard pull out there. Nice kick out block there on Cornish. And we'll see him come up right here, and Pope's going to take him on. Keep that head up, Chet. Don't dip the head. Keep the nose up in his shoulders, up in his pads.
Again, a motion man, and they give it to him, Krebs. Krebs at the 35, the 40, out to the 42, close to another first down, but Buckeye Local will be content to let it run out. There have not been very many penalties called in the first half. Chardon has been virtually flawless, and as Buckeye Local goes, they have had only one illegal procedure penalty, I believe, called against them. So it's been a very well-played half from a standpoint of penalties.
Yes, and timeout there by the Hilltoppers. Evidently their coach now likes the field position they've received on that run. So with 15 seconds to go, 12 seconds to go in the half, he decides to burn a timeout, the ball on the 41-yard line. So right now we got the defensive coordinator out there, and for Buckeye Local out there, and that is, is that? I can't tell who's out there.
Oh, so far away.
Yes, it is.
Out there either.
But the thing right now that we got to do is be able to stay in there and keep them from trying any type of trick plays. I'm sure the defensive backs have been reminded to keep themselves back off the ball, don't come up on a run action, keep their eyes out of the backfield, and stay with the receivers deep.
Maybe the coaches ought to wear numbers so we can... All right, second down, a yard to go, and their quarterback is being chased out of the pocket. He's tripped up.
Scott Treckle tripped him up there.
They'll stop the clock with 7 seconds, giving them enough time to move the sticks. First down. A lot of this stuff here is inconsequential. Buckeye content to give them 6 or 8 yards and go in trailing 7-6 apparently.
That had to be Blair Clauser, the defensive coordinator, was out there in the huddle. Yes, there he is right there. I can see him coming out in the field there without any kids around him. As Chardon now burns another timeout, George, with 7 seconds to go. And, it's just a matter of not having a mental breakdown. You say that, and it sounds so easy to say standing up here. But, you're talking to 17, 18, 16-year-old kids down there. You see it in college. You see it in the pro level. Them guys are making $1 million. They get burned all the time like this. It's just like you just got to constantly repeat to the kids, stay back, stay back, stay back. But it's so easy to bite up.
You remember last week's game against Piqua. The Panthers are going in with 1.5 minutes for a touchdown, and the first half ended with Piqua knocking at the door. I mean, so many things happen in a matter of seconds. It was almost delirious.
It was scary is what it was.
It sure was. Your gut instincts here with a 7-6 deficit, do you feel good about that?
No, I told you, I felt real good. If we can win this half, we can hold them right here for these next 7 seconds and go in there. We've shown we can move the ball out there, and we'll make some adjustments defensively. We're going to see the arm now, long ball up in the air, and nice coverage out there.
No time left on the clock.
Like Ben Bailey, I believe. Yes, that's Ben number 41, knocked the ball down, great coverage.
Well, that's the end of the first half. Chardon 7, the Buckeye Panthers 6. We'll be back with the Buckeye Local Band right after these messages. Getting ready for the third quarter, your score, Chardon 7, Buckeye Local 6 on the Ohio Valley Hospital scoreboard. Just to show you how evenly matched these two teams are. In first downs, Chardon leads 7-6, which of course is the score. In time of possession, Buckeye Local has a slight edge in that department. In rushing, and I think this is slightly significant at this point, it's almost 2-1 in favor of Chardon, 126 yards to 62. In fact, better than 2-1 ratio. In passing, Chardon has 0 yardage, and the Panthers have 58. Total yardage, Chardon 126, Buckeye Local 120. Fumbles, the Panthers have lost 1 fumble, and Chardon has not fumbled the football, so there is one telling statistic, as the Panthers missed a scoring opportunity as a result of that fumble. And then Chardon proceeded to drive 70 yards for its first touchdown. Looking at the penalties, the Panthers 2 minor infractions for a total of 10 yards. Chardon has not been penalized in this game. And a scoring recap, with 9:19 to go in the second period, a 5-yard rushing touchdown by Eric Ash. That capped the 10-play, 70-yard drive in 4 minutes and 24 seconds. And it was 7-0 following the extra point. 33-yard touchdown pass and a big one with 3:49 to go in the half. Elliot Hosenfeld to Chet Poblish. That was a 60-yard drive which consumed 5 minutes and 30 seconds and came on a 4th down and 26. A very difficult situation to be in, but one in which the Panthers really had to give them a lift. Now where do you go from here, Ty? With Chardon getting the ball first, obviously we got to do something to control this running game.
Yes, there had to be some adjustments made in there by the defensive coaching staff to take away the option game. The option game, George, right there, them 126 yards, you can figure close to 100 of them was made on the option there. And somehow, some way, we got to find a way there to assign a man to the quarterback because he is the man who's hurting us on that option route out there. They're making good assignment blocks out there, giving him a seam. And we've got to have somebody attack him right now, make him pitch that football, and see what can happen with their halfbacks on the outside out there. So don't be surprised we see a different look here in the front by Buckeye, where they're going to move somebody to the outside to keep their end man from getting hooked and get onto that quarterback right now.
And this, of course, is a big defensive series coming up right now. Chardon will get the football, and the Panthers have got to send a message that this big grinded-out ground game that Chardon put together in the first half, and one that is headed towards 300 yards on the evening, has got to come to a screeching halt.
Definitely, and you know that's one thing, George, that we've been mentioning this evening, and that is the Buckeye staff and the team has responded extremely well in the third quarter. And this is the time that they really got to rise to the occasion here in this third quarter and take control of the football game. As we see down there, looks like we're getting ready to kick off.
And of course it will be Seuss kicking the ball away. And their deep men are John Tody and Tim Michael. Chardon fans making some racket over here on the near side. Place seats about 18,000 at capacity. I would say we have, what, 24,000 since they renovated it?
Yeah, okay. 24,000 capacity.
All right, return
good
coverage by the Panthers as the ball carrier on the return is taken down by Chet Poblish and company on the far side of the field. It was Joe Krebs on the return, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Chardon Hilltoppers. Both these teams came in here with records of 13-0.
Also in that play there was number 35, Charles Anderson for the Panthers, bringing him down there on the 25.
Again, it's Scott Neal, the deft quarterback, and he is nimble and quick, but this time they go with Tim Michael, the wing coming from the far side, and Michael is brought down by Jimmy Runovich.
Jimmy Runovich and Danny McCain helping bring him down there, strung that out. We'll take a look at the replay here. Right there, Cornish making him cut up, take the lead blocker away from him. And right there, you see number 62 come from behind, tripping him up there for a short game. Call it 2nd down and 8 now for the Hilltoppers from their own 27.5.
And you can feel the urgency in the air here. 24 precious minutes left. Most of these kids are playing in the biggest game of their lives. And avoiding tacklers, 1st down out of the 40, the 45, onto the 47-yard line. And good running there to elude tacklers on the play. Runovich finally caught up with the ball carrier. But as you will see right here,
we had a couple missed tackles, George, that really killed us. We had him stopped at the line of scrimmage right there.
Tim Michael.
One man missed him, 2 men missed him, and they're coming hustling from the inside again and pulling him down from behind is Runovich. I'll tell you what, he does an awful good job of covering a lot of ground out there for a 5'9", 190 man.
Michael is set as a wingman in the wing tee. This time it's Krebs, and Krebs carries up the middle for a strong gain of 5. He is into Buckeye local territory to the 49-yard line.
But the Chardon Hilltoppers went in there at halftime and make a determination coming out here that they're going to be able to run that ball straight at Buckeye. We saw a sweep there for good yardage. But again, George, we had people in position. We just missed the tackles out there. That's something that we cannot do. Once we get a clear shot at their backs, we've got to take them down there at the line of scrimmage, not give them 15 yards. We should have a minus or a 0 gain. 2nd and 6. Hilltoppers are crossing the Panther territory.
Ball at the 49-yard line. Quarterback keeps this time, runs inside, gets short of the first down as he's tackled at the 45. They're going to have a 3rd down and 2. Kaminsky put a bear hug on Scott Neal and drove him down face first at the 45-yard line of Buckeye Local. 3rd down and about 2.5 yards to go for the first.
Real important series right now for the Buckeye defense to try to stop the Hilltoppers, not to give them the momentum going here in this 3rd quarter. They've driven the ball down now to our 45-yard line. 3rd and 2.
It amazes me how much these two teams have in common in terms of the type of personnel that they have.
Oh,
this
fullback busted.
Big trouble. Ash first down to the 30 and to the 25-yard line. A gaping hole. He's finally brought down by Dave Cornish. But there have been 2 or 3 instances in this game where they have just ripped open huge holes in the Panther defense. And that is something that has not been easy for previous opponents.
Right here, we'll take a look at it right there. Nice blocking at the point of attack again by their offensive lineman. They're back leading up through there. Couldn't find anybody to block.
And Cornish doing a nice job to catch up with his man at the 26. 1st down and 10. Chardon with the ball on the move. Here they come with the fullback, Ash slashing inside the 20. He's down to the 18-yard line, and he'll be about a yard short of another Chardon 1st down. And this begins to get a little bit hairy here in the early moments of the 3rd quarter as Chardon has come out of the locker room with a 7-6 lead and an impressive drive to open the 2nd half.
They're moving the ball too easy on us, George.
They predicted they would do that. They did not feel that the Panther 4-man front would be effective against what they do. Here's a cutback for a 1st down by Eric Ash. And he gets to the 15-yard line. And somebody's got to step up and make a big play here. Chardon 7, Buckeye Local 6 on the Ohio Valley Hospital scoreboard. We'll be right back. Yards to go for the Chardon Hilltoppers, wearing the black uniforms and the red helmets. They are at the Buckeye Local 13-yard line and have moved very impressively from their own 25. Good 1st down carry again. Eric Ash, and he's got to be over 1,000 yards for the season. He came into the game with 915 yards. And just on this drive alone, he has picked up some substantial yardage.
Yes, we got now looking down at 2nd down from the 8-yard line. They can get 1st down inside the 4-yard line of the Panthers. Got to step up now.
2nd down and 4. The quarterback gives it off inside. This time he is stopped short.
Big Joe Kaminsky wrapped him up there. Took him down on the 5. Bringing up 3rd down and a short 2. Call it 1.5, George. They take the ball right down the field. We're inside of 7 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. The Hilltoppers have looked impressive in this drive.
And a concerned Ron Publish looks on from the far side.
The Panther crowd's trying to get the defense up.
This is going to be close to a 1st down, and I think they have it.
Yes, he's down inside the 1-yard line. That time the quarterback, Scott Neal, pulled the back ball out from the fullback there and ran the off from the outside and cut up and got smacked on the 1-yard line. We'll take a look at it here. Taking that ball up inside to the fullback, and we give it to him Ash all night. And there goes Neal. Again, we have an arm tackle being missed, and Dave Cornish brings him down there with help from the 2nd. I'm not quite sure that 2nd man.
Scott Treckle, I believe, was involved in the play also. 1st and goal, ball marked shy of the 2-yard line. Here is Ash. Ash will not get there.
Kaminsky and McCain. Kaminsky shooting through from his linebacker spot and wrapping him up, and Danny McCain helped bringing him down.
They have eaten up half of the 3rd quarter. 6 minutes to go, and they still have the football banging at the door right here.
I'll be surprised the Hilltoppers come right back and run Ash back up the middle again, because they always can pull that ball outside with Neal at any time they need to.
Second and goal at the 2. Man in motion. Ash. Touchdown, Chardon. And they go up 13-6. There are coaches, some of whom are good acquaintances of mine, who swear by this offense. They say that it drives opponents crazy, this wing tee, that it's time-consuming, that you run time off the clock, and if you've got the athletes to execute it, it takes the heart right out of you. They're trying to go up 14-6. The kick is good. And Marty Macker has put Chardon on top 14-6. We have 5:41 to go in the third quarter. And we'll be right back. Chardon with an 8-point cushion. 5:41 to go in the third quarter, and I don't need to tell you that Buckeye Local had better reestablish something here, because it does not look like they're going to have a very easy time stopping what Chardon does offensively.
No, right now the Buckeye Panthers must respond now to that scoring drive of the Hilltoppers by putting one together of their own and taking the ball right down the field and answer this. And again, the kicker is lining this ball up, and just the way he sets his tee at an angle right there, they're determined not to kick the ball deep to Publish or Cornish, and that ball is going right down around that 30-yard line again in there, and don't be surprised if we see Kevin Spong return this ball again now.
No team outside Jefferson County has ever won an Ohio football title from the OVAC. That's in our 6-county area. Buckeye is striving to become the third from Jefferson County to do it. Big Red and Catholic Central in 1984 and 1993 respectively. But keep in mind that no one outside of the city of Steubenville has ever won an Ohio championship from the OVAC, and the Panthers can do that and earn a 14-0 if they can come back here. They will have the ball in decent field position at their own 37 after the return by Kevin Spong, and they have kicked it to Spong all night long.
Yes, they're putting the ball right directly on that 30-yard line there, and he's returning that ball up there 7 yards, giving us good field position there on the 38-yard line. 8-yard return by Kevin. Don't be surprised to see Buckeye come out and make some adjustments on their kickoff return team if they have to receive again by moving their D-backs up in that area.
Out of the I formation. The up back is stopped after a gain of possibly a yard. Don Vaughn. He's that man in the middle, and he makes a quick stop on Mike Roush. 2nd down and 9. Ball at the 40. Publish works inside and is stacked up at the 43. It'll be a 3rd and 5 for Buckeye Local.
Well, with Elliott throwing the ball twice in the first half, George, we've been 2 for 2 and picking up the yards. Look here at the little counter in their trap. Nice trap job, but there are people from the outside. Slip off the block. Team in. We got 3rd and 5 now from the 43.
A little reverse here to McCain. He's tripped up. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 4th down and 5.
Great job of their outside linebackers out there. Number 20, Scott Platt, stayed at home and fought off the blocker real well. The offensive lineman there for Buckeye kind of ran right by him. Take a look at it right here. We got 2 men right there going right by him, and number 20 just came from the inside, slipped off the block as the ball was punted deep. Rick Matthews' ball is rolling inside the 5.
And will drop dead at the 4.
Nice punt there by Rick. Pinning the Hilltoppers deep inside their own territory. They're going to start now, George, from their 4-yard line. You don't want to push the panic button, but right now is a must for the Panther defense to put the stop to the Hilltoppers at this point on the football field.
And I'll tell you another thing. It's about time that Chardon makes a mistake. They have committed no penalties. They haven't even come close to turning the ball over. Well, I'm sorry, there was the 1 interception. That's right, on Cornish picking the ball off in the first half. But in terms of handling the football, which they have done almost exclusively on the ground, they haven't even come close to fumbling it. The inside handoff. This is not good. Ash moves through the middle. 1st down yardage out across the 10 to the 15-yard line. move the sticks. And this is what concerns you, is when you see your opponent knifing through your defense, and on the one possession you get in the second half, you can only muster up 5 yards.
Yes, the Panthers have made an adjustment now and put big number 64, Bobby Ogden, at a defensive tackle, to try to put some more hind in there against that Chardon offensive line.
Here is a man tripped up in the backfield for a loss on the play. That is Michael, the wingback, and Joe Kaminsky got those big paws in there. Of course, well documented this week what Joe Kaminsky has been through with the loss of his father. The Buckeye Panthers have reached the top of the mountain.
Second down and 12 now for the Hilltoppers from their 12-yard line. Well, we need them, George. We need them in second and long. They've had really success on first down.
Quarterback moves left. There's a flag down on the play.
A loose ball.
Loose ball.
We got it. Dave Cornish threw the man away. He threw the halfback away.
Hold everything until we see what the penalty is.
And you're going to have a penalty back here, George. I believe we're going to get a holding call on Chardon. You threw it back here. Yes, it is. Panther ball inside the 10-yard line.
That's what I'm telling you. You got them pinned back there. They haven't dropped the ball all night. It's about time for somebody to make the big play defensively.
But we attacked the quarterback and made him pitch the ball right there. Number 44, Danny McCain, got a paw on him, and big number 66, Clint Hepburn, causing the ball to go on the carpet.
And there's Cornish over there to cover it. First and goal, Panthers.
Great job by Cornish, and he took the halfback and threw him out of the way, which is legal, giving us first down possession.
Now let's get something humming here. First and goal. Ball at the 8-yard line.
Twin formation to the right.
Roush to the 5.
Tell you what, George, that Chardon defense, they are so quick off of the block. They're getting hit, but they just get rid of the blockers so quick and slide to make the tackle. Number 50 there just did an excellent job for Chardon. That's their defensive tackle, Rick Warner, 6'3", 260 pounds, and he moves like a cat out there.
Second down goal. Ball at the 6-yard line. Again, it's Roush with the pile moving forward to the 2.
Down inside the 2-yard line. Third and goal now from the 2.
This is where the offensive linemen have got to look each other in the eyes and say, gentlemen, we cannot, we will not be denied.
That's exactly right.
We're going in the end zone, and you can't stop it.
Did a much better job that time of maintaining their blocks and let the black jerseys slip off of them. Power formation, eye left. Publish, we stopped short of the goal line. Down on the 1-yard line, 4th and goal from the 1. We just didn't look real smooth on that play, George.
Not at all. Not at all. The blocking broke down along the left side, which we haven't seen that happen in too many clutch situations here in the postseason. But it happened right there.
Here comes.
I'm Buckeye local. I am going to go. This is the state championship game, and I got to have a yard. You got to have a yard.
Bringing in a play from Coach Publish. Power ride to the left-hand side. We shift the power to the right. Oh, we got mixed up. The Hilltoppers have held us. We had a collision there between Elliot Hosenfield and Danny McCain. We're trying to run a power off the right-hand side there, and as they bumped into each other, the blocking also broke down, and we'll see a black jersey coming through there real clean.
Well, there's no question. The key thing that happened there is Rick Warner just blew by people. I'll tell you what, he is something at 6'3", 260, and that's the first time in a situation like that in the postseason where somebody has just blown away the Buckeye local interior line, and Warner did it on that play to his credit. Ash, nice yardage out over the 10, out to the 13-yard line, and
we got a late flag coming in there. I think we're going to see a penalty there coming against the Buckeye Panthers. The face mask call. Side judge came in through the flag right at the tackle area right there on the 13-yard line. The Panthers now going to back up 15 yards. What a break for the Hilltoppers. They don't need these kind of breaks. Took the ball from the 13 out to the 28-yard line. First down for the Hilltoppers.
Well, a second ago, Buckeye Local had the ball inside the 2 and 2 opportunities to get a touchdown.
Well, you got the quarter ending.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way it is. This thing is not necessarily in a matter of desperation yet, but it is a matter of urgency, if you know what I mean.
That runs it out.
That's the end of the third quarter. A fired up Chardon 14 rather, and Buckeye Local 6.
Georgia, yes, the officials are putting them back there. Going to have an untimed play here to end the quarter.
There's no time left on the clock.
He's going to both benches and telling them there that the quarter is not going to end on a penalty right there. We're going to have an untimed play coming up for Chardon here, ending the third quarter. First and 10 for the Hilltoppers from their own 28-yard line.
Big opening.
Fullback again, Ash. He's got the midfield.
They've gone 49 yards in a sudden hurry. And that is the end of the third quarter as Chardon is attempting to take control of this football game. On the Ohio Valley Hospital scoreboard, Chardon 14, Buckeye Local 6. We'll be back with the fourth quarter right after these messages. We're going to take another look at that play by Eric Ash. And
you'll see here, George, we have our middle linebacker here. Looks right there. He just gets picked up by the offensive back then. We're in a blitz game there. When he got through that line of scrimmage, and there was no middle linebacker there to stop him. And Dave Corney is trying to pull the ball loose from the top, and number 41, Ben Bailey, taking him down low. And they're going to start exactly at the midfield stripe to start the fourth quarter.
They just went 49 yards. Big time. And on their opening drive of the third quarter, they cruised down the field for the touchdown and put them up 14-6. And, you know, Buckeye Local has been a second-half club all year, Ty, but clearly this is the best football team they have faced. I don't know what preconceived notions anybody had about Chardon. Like we said at the top of the broadcast, there's no way to know how good any opponent is when you have nothing in common with them.
No.
And you just don't know. They're good. And
they are. There's a very, very good football team we're playing tonight.
First down and 10.
Comes the fullback, Ash again.
Yeah, you just don't know where the ball is going in this wing T, and they are only going to get a couple of yards on this play. Need I remind anyone how difficult it is to win a state championship in the state of Ohio? We've had 23 years of playoffs. Only 2 state champions have come from the OVAC, which is not bad considering we have 720 schools in the state. And I'm going to throw another tidbit at you here in a second that you will find fascinating. 11:25 to go in the game. Chardon, the quarterback keeper. He's going to be close to another first down near the 40-yard line.
The thing is, George, you know, we're hitting that quarterback, but right there again, we didn't hit him until he was 8 yards down the football field. They're really creating a nice crease out there. They're blocking the number 1 man assigned. We'll take a look at it right here. So you go down that line of scrimmage. Watch him turn upfield right there.
Good thing that
number 67, their right tackle on the linebacker, and he took Kaminsky out of the play.
But Kaminsky recovered and made the tackle.
Made the tackle from behind, but it's about 3.5 yards from the 40-yard line.
They continue to run time off the clock.
Ash.
First down. He's to the 37.
Thought Treckle pulling him down from behind, but not until he picked up the first down inside the 40-yard line. First and 10 from the 39 now for the Hilltoppers.
Well, to give you an idea of how difficult it is to win a state championship in Ohio, I thought I'd pass this tidbit along. In the 2 major spectator sports, which are, of course, football and basketball on the high school level, we've had 2 champions in 25 years. 23 years, actually. And I'll finish the thought here in a second.
There's
Here's
that
the quarterback. He cracks for 5. He's to the 35 of Buckeye Local, Scott Neal. They said he was dangerous before the game. He is.
He is dangerous. Dave Cornish there coming from his outside. We'll see number 10 coming in there. But just watch the inside seal right there. They're just sealing the complete inside away from Buckeye. And there's just nobody coming from that inside to give any pursuit as he turns up field in that alleyway. As you said, George, this is a tough offense to stop, but any offense is tough to stop if you're executing, and this team is executing right now. Right there, nice stop at the line of scrimmage.
And a huge third down coming up. The plays do start to become huge. 9:35 to go in the football game. Third down, about 6. But I wanted to mention the 2 titles in 23 years of high school playoff football in Ohio. To find the last state champion in basketball from the OVAC, I take you back 51 years to Yorkville, one school amongst many in the Buckeye local consolidation to 1943, the last team from the OVAC to win an Ohio State basketball championship.
There's a sweep.
That's a first down, and he lost the ball.
I believe we got it.
White ball, you betcha. And the Buckeye Panthers have life.
Nice
Ben Bailey made the recovery of the fumbled football, and the scary part of that is that it worked for a first down and could have been a lethal blow, but instead someone stripped the ball in there. And on the Ohio Valley Hospital scoreboard, Chardon leads Buckeye 14-6. We'll see if the Panthers can hum it when we return. Held. Big loss.
They're dropping back to throw. There was no one open. We had 2 receivers out. We had Robinson deep down the middle and Publish on the left flat. We'll take a look here at the turnover by Chardon.
Joe Krebs, the ball carrier.
He makes a nice move up inside.
And is stripped of the football by
number 41.
Ben Bailey, who also made the recovery.
Second down and 20. Draw. Get to the sideline.
Not much. I'll tell you. Publish is not getting an opportunity to show his speed because this defense has so much lateral quickness.
Yes, they do. That's their outside linebacker, Scott Platts, again. They made a trip right there on his ankle to cut him down. We'll take a look at it right here. Number 20 to bottom of the screen will react back out and dive and pull him down from the ankle. But you see the other two black jerseys were coming to cut his ankle for the sideline off for the Hilltoppers, bringing up third down and 20. 20 now for the Panthers from their own 15.
7.5 minutes to go in this game. If they have to punt the football right here, you're looking at a real time problem. Hosenfeld back.
Pitch and pitch.
There's a little trickery.
We dropped it.
Fumble. And it's recovered by Chardon.
Number 23 coming up there for the ball for the Panthers. Defensive back Kevin Ash.
I think that play might go for a first down right there if the ball is not lost. It might, as Publish just could not hold on. And the guys in the black jerseys get the big break now. Well, hey, you've got, right now you've had your opportunities, and we have given Chardon the ball back at the 21-yard line.
With 7 minutes to go in the game. This is a must stoppage, George.
Oh, boy. Quarterback keep. Quarterback knocked down at the 20-yard line. Danny McCain, the All-Stater.
As you said, George, that play was open. You're saying that we may have a first down on that play. I'm thinking we may have the whole ball wax on that thing because there was nobody on that sideline. Their DB sucked in there real well. As we take a look here at Danny McCain, going to trip him up behind as he cuts back up inside. And right there was Treckle coming up to finish him off from the inside also. Second down and 9 from the 20-yard line. Inside again, fullback, Ash
at the 10, Ash inside the 5.
We're just missing too many tackles at the point of attack, George. We got people hitting him there at the line of scrimmage at 1 yard for a 1-yard gain, and he just running through those arm tackles and taking the ball down inside. Take a look at it right here. Right there. We just have an arm tackle miss. Right there, he made a nice move. And number 23 pulls him down from behind, John Rattay.
First and goal at the 5-yard line for Chardon, and they've got a golden opportunity right here to really, really put the Panthers in a bad situation. And again, they elude the grasp at the line of scrimmage and get something out of it.
It's a nice job there by the Panther defense. We had good penetration back there and busted up the play. Number 42 coming off the bottom of Powell there. That's Mike Wilt was back in the backfield and caused a little collision back here, but you said the ball carrier bounced off of it and picked up a yard there, bringing up down now 2nd down and 4. Ball slightly inside the 4 for the Hilltoppers.
Chardon has seized control of the proceedings here in the second half.
Colin Ash dead there earlier as he lunges forward, but it looks like the ball still, George, when he placed inside the 3-yard line.
Any kind of a score here hurts badly as the clock winds down to the 5-minute mark. A touchdown is going to be a situation that's going to be very difficult to overcome.
Yes,
it's already 14-6.
Don't be surprised, George, if we don't see number 12 here pull this ball to the outside and keep it on this play. Scott Neal. They have it set up.
Neal, you called it. The late pitch. Somebody needs to tackle him, and they do. Good job of pursuit there by the Panthers, and thank goodness the guy slipped and fell.
So we had the outside cut off right there. Number 25 came across the line of scrimmage, Publish, and cutting back to the inside. As he cut back up inside, he lost his footing, so timeout now. No timeout. The field goal kicker is out on the field, and this really was going to put the Panthers in the hole. We're going to need now 2 scores to get back in the ball game, George, and the clock is down to 4:12 and counting.
Their place kicker is Marty Macker. Ball down at the 13. The kick is a line drive, and it is good.
Inside the left upright, it's good. So with 4:03 remaining in the game, the Hilltoppers of Chardon 17, our Buckeye local Panthers 6 on the High Valley Hospital scoreboard. We'll be right back to try to get it go.
Fans starting to do a little celebrating here. They lead 17-6 with 4:03 remaining in this football game. What is required is a touchdown and a recovery of an onside kick in all likelihood.
Yes, with 4:03 to go in the ball game, we've got to move the ball down the field extremely quickly and put some points on the board. Right now, we got the change made that we called earlier, George. Lowe's up here in the 30-yard line where they've been kicking that ball all night is number 25.
Chet Publish. And there's Ron Publish. What a brilliant job he and his staff have done. These kids to get to a state championship. 118 teams would love to be here. Only 2 can make it. Only 1 can win the gold medal. The kick is a little squib job, and it's taken over here by Publish. Publish out to the 40. Chet to the 43-yard line, so the Panthers will have good field position, but the clock is certainly not their ally with 3:57.
Not only do we have to fight the Chardon Hilltopper strong defense, we've got to start watching that clock and keep an eye on the movement of it right now. As you said, George, we got to score, and we got to score quick. You know, the time has passed now for a long drive down the football field. Single back look, flanker to the right and left.
First count. Here is Hosenfeld carrying the ball and losing yardage back to the 41. Nobody open, and the clock continues to move.
2nd down and 13 now for the Panthers from the 41-yard line. Take a look at it right here. Nice blocking by Mike Rouse. Elliott got the containment broke, and number 85 is making a curl downfield. Brian Robinson didn't see him.
Hosenfeld guns it in there to Publish. Publish still on the move down to the 41-yard line. First down. You can keep one thing in mind. No one has held Buckeye local in the single figures the entire season. Their lowest outputs were 13 points against Edison, 14 points in the opener against Upper St. Clair. Everything else has been 20 or more.
3 minutes on the clock.
Hosenfeld runs out of traffic, has running room. He needed one more block. He's to the 37, but the clock works down to 2:50 and counting.
Timeout by the Panthers.
Well, we're going to take a break on the Ohio Valley Hospital scoreboard. Chardon 17, Buckeye Local 6. Panthers trying to make a late drive. We'll be right back. Endeavors in the sports world and winning an Ohio high school football championship. I just can't think of one offhand. It is excruciatingly tough to win this thing. Chardon from 0-10 2 years ago to the brink of a state title. Rosenfeld is wheeled down at midfield.
They're trying to set a screen up to the short side of the football field. Their outside linebacker, number 20, Scott Flatts, diagnosed it perfectly and stayed with the halfback that was flaring out there, Publish, and they would have no part of it, and Ella just kept losing ground, and finally he's tackled at the 50-yard line. We have another sack from the Kroger Food and Drug Company for the Salvation Army of $50.
Second of the evening, both against Buckeye Local, unfortunately. Here's Rosenfeld. Elliott is butchered.
As he goes to make the pass to the inside, Brian Robinson has thrown it open there on about the 32-yard line.
That guy,
Elliott saw him.
That guy's an animal.
Yes, he is.
Rick Warner. He made the big play down earlier at the goal line, and you're going to see him coming here.
Right to the top of the screen, you see him coming into the play. Right there,
Rosenfeld losing his footing, and now you've got fourth and about 21 or so.
And we're down to 1:40 to go in the game.
Well, this is your ball game, ladies and gentlemen. Rosenfeld, incomplete.
Publish on a cross pattern underneath. He was covered by the linebacker, number 51. We had a step on him, but Elliott just threw the ball slightly high. And really, the Buckeye Panthers right now, George, there's not really much to say here with 1:35 to go. It's like they're going to get down to their first defeat of the season, but I tell you what, they got nothing to be ashamed of. What they have done for their school and their program and their communities up there is just absolutely tremendous.
Our hats off to them, but boy, this hurts.
Oh, it sure does hurt.
I've been close in following a number of teams, including your own Shady Side Tigers in 1989, and I'll tell you what, when you get on a roll in the postseason in Ohio, it's as much fun as you'll have doing anything your whole life.
And speaking of the playoffs in Ohio, George, we were talking there in the before the game started to the commissioner of the High School Athletic Station, Claire Mascaro, who's a Valley native from Weirton, and he asked him to pass on to his 84-year-old mother hello, and he wishes her well. But, it's just something that every community should have the chance to be here to see what it's like.
Few have had the opportunity. Chardon is only moments away from turning an 0-10 2 years ago into a state championship this year, which would be an unprecedented feat. On the Ohio Valley Hospital scoreboard, Chardon leads at 17-6. We'll be right back. Just so tough.
George, one thing that, this has done has really brought Buckeye Local together as a school and a community, and, this is something that sports can do to a school program. They can bring the entire community together, and, the Buckeye Local Panther football team is directly responsible for the success that's going to go on in that school this year.
And the program itself is on its feet for the future. I can say that. There were a lot of people that wondered if Buckeye would get to the elite level in 90 and 91 when they made the playoffs but were beaten by Big Red and West Branch. This is clearly the best team in the school's history. Its defense vastly better than any that they have had in the past. What a year really it's been, not only for this team. Billy West led the Big East in rushing and was the Big East Offensive Player of the Year. And Buckeye Local in only its 5th year making the state finals. I can only hope and pray that someday they will be back. First down, Tim Michael.
And that'll take care of the ball game, George, as the clock is down to 28 seconds to go, and we're out of timeout. So they'll run a play right now to kill the clock, and the Chardon Hilltoppers are going to be state champs. Well, what a tough way to end your season. But George, like the one thing about high school football, high school basketball, track, whatever, at the end of the year, there's only one team that ends up the season, the entire state as a winner.
Only one team wins its last game in the postseason. Here's Krebs carrying. He shoved out of bounds, delaying the inevitable here.
And there was a clip error or a hold on Dave Cornish. As 2 flags came in on that play.
Well, it's been a fun run, I can tell you that. You and I have had some great moments covering this club. And these young men will have an eternity of wonderful memories to savor. Definitely Cornish clipped on that play. But the consequences, as you see the clock there, not going to be substantial enough to make a difference. One more play, and Chardon will celebrate, and Buckeye Local will reflect.
Quarterback will kneel down as they're in their kill the clock formation now, George.
It is over. Your final score: Chardon 17, Buckeye Local 6. For Ty Fleming, this is George Kellis. So long from Massillon. It's been a wonderful season, everybody.